Dr. B. Fox here, and I help accomplished women to elevate their inner being and optimize their energy so that they can truly align their inner game with the outer world they have worked so hard to create. And they can do this living life undefined by the things that have been holding them back and weighing them down. And today I want to talk to you guys about life happening for you, not to you. Okay, so let me give you a little backstory on this. I'm this like college athlete, semi-professional athlete, and life is good. I'm on cloud nine. I'm a recent college graduate. Like everything that I'd ever dreamed of I was in it. I was going for it, right? And so I had, in my second year of semi-professional soccer, I, in a game, got stepped on with a cleat, and it took about a year to figure out where all my pain was coming from. But I would wear a cam boot by day and play by night because I wasn't ready to give up the game. They had done so many different imagings, and I wore a bone stimulator and all of these things to ultimately find out that a bone in my foot had lost its blood supply. And that injury alone, I needed surgery for, and surgery fixed the bone in the foot. But the emotions of having lost the game that, at my whole life up to that point had been my outlet was very difficult for me. And then shortly thereafter, within a couple months, I woke up cold and naked on a random living room floor after a night of hanging out with my girlfriends and their friends, and I literally had a half of a drink and don't remember the rest of the night. And it ended up being that I was drugged and gang raped, and so that day my life just changed. I went from this girl soaring high, doing all the things, living out my dreams, to literally a victim of loss of the sport that I love, that was my outlet, and then having experienced this sexual trauma. And so I went through massive bouts of depression, massive bouts of poor decision making, you guys, poor decision making. But now realizing that those decisions were based off of chemical changes in my body, based on the trauma that I had experienced. And so I see it every day in my clients is those who have had a history of trauma, they have gut problems, they get into eating disorders. I have been there, I have done that, done the gut problems, I've done the eating disorders, I've done the depression, I have done the bad choices, all of the things. And so that's why I'm here today, is I'm here to really pour into you so that, girl, you know that those things that have happened for you in your past, a lot of those things you didn't ask for. Most of them you didn't ask for, right? You didn't want them. They're yuck, they're ugly. You wish you never would have had to go through them. But I will tell you, in my 20-year journey now, I have really embraced that all of those things that I just listed happened for me so that I can show up and be the strong, overcoming, powerful, empowered woman that I am today, and that I can lift others through my story. I used to be in victim mode. Yeah, been there, right? Y'all feel me with that. I've been there, I have done that, and I decided that was not how I wanted to live my life. I knew there was more. I knew life didn't have to look that way. And when I first started on my journey 20 years ago, girl, I didn't know what I was doing. Good gracious, I didn't have any support. I basically felt like I was on an island all by myself, right? And I see that in so many of my clients even today is we feel alone, we feel abandoned, we feel like we don't have anyone to turn to. And I promise you that's not the case. There are tons of practitioners that are there to support you. If you have had bumps in the road, if you have had people turn you away, if you've had people not support you, girl, don't stop with them. Keep going. There are people that will help you, that will allow you to realize you're enough, allow you to realize that it is totally worth the journey, okay? I have been through so many ups and downs in the journey, and it has not been an easy road. It's not been a short road, but I will tell you that the journey itself and where I am today is 1,000% worth it. And that's why I do what I do to serve you, is I want you, girl, to know that it is 1,000% worth it. Okay? And whatever that is, maybe it's childhood trauma, maybe it's a friend that you lost, a loved one that you lost, and you're in the grieving process and you feel like your life has just been sucked away from you. I know, I've been there, and it is not a fun place to be. And you might be in that season for a month, you might be in that season for a couple years, but what I want you to know is I want you to know that you can stop being a victim, and you can choose to step forward into the life that you really, 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 really want, the life you know you deserve, the life you dream of, okay? Doesn't mean it's gonna happen overnight, I can promise that. But what I will also promise is that it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. So I want you to take that first step in that journey, even though you don't know what the finish line looks like, okay? So back to really looking at, okay, because when we experience something negative in our life, we trap that in our system, and we hold on to that until it's cleared. Which is why I have my one-off energy sessions, is to help clear people from those blocks. The other thing that we know is that we have a chemical change. So stop today putting that guilt and that shame on yourself for decisions you've made afterward. Girl, it wasn't your fault. And that chemical change in your body, there's a reason for your choices, and we know that. Now what you have to do is start taking and changing that chemical reaction into the positive. You can start to make better choices, I promise. You can start to nourish your body. You can start to clear the past without reliving it. You can do all those things, and there's people that help you. I would love to be the person that can help you and pour into you and serve you in a one-on-one energy session as well, if that's what you need. But besides that, I want you to know that it's worth it and you can do it, okay? So taking and looking at everything that's happened in your life and saying, it happened for me. Because gosh, today I am moving forward into the woman that I want to be, and it feels good, okay? So I want you to start flipping that script. I want you to start saying, this happened for me. It was crappy. I hated it. It has been a long 10 years. I didn't ask for that. But man, I am not going to let that define who I am today and who I am a year from now and who I am as a mother, who I am as a wife, who I am as an entrepreneur or career woman, or whatever that is. Do not let it define you from today on, okay? So I want you guys to just really sit back and look at, have I been allowing, consciously or not, this thing in my past to define who I am today? How I react to situations, how I talk to people, how I am as a mother, how I am as a spouse, all the things, okay? Girl, you're worth it. Much love. Be undefined.